Union Cabinet approves National Research Foundation Bill 2023 will be presented in Parliament in the monsoon session. Apex body named NRF will be established. White-rumped vulture population declines revealed in the research. Their population is confined to a specific area. International Conference on Green Hydrogen held. Experts from many countries participated. The aim is to promote green hydrogen. Singapore Exchange Nifty started its business in India. The objective is to link the capital markets of India and Singapore. National Stock Exchange has signed a 5-year contract. And ISRO integrated Chandrayaan-3 spacecraft with launch vehicle. Chandrayaan-3 mission to be launched this month. Many new techniques have been used. Recently, the Union Cabinet has approved the introduction of the National Research Foundation Bill 2023 in the Parliament. It is expected to be tabled in Parliament in the upcoming monsoon session. After the approval of the Parliament, this law will establish an apex body called NRF, that is, National Research Foundation, to provide high-level strategic direction to scientific research in the country. The total estimated cost of this body over a period of 5 years, that is 2023 to 28, will be Rs 50,000 crore. The Department of Science and Technology will be the administrative arm of the NRF, which will be governed by a governing board. The board will also include researchers and professionals from various disciplines. The Prime Minister will be the ex officio chairman of this board, and the Union Minister of Science and Technology and the Union Minister of Education will be the ex officio vice chairman. Its functioning will be under the chairmanship of an executive council headed by the principal scientific advisor to the Government of India. According to the bill, NRF will establish collaboration between industry and academia and government departments and research institutions. The NRF will replace the Science and Engineering Research Board established in 2008. The government claims that its enactment will encourage research and development activity in the country. At the same time, the culture of research and innovation in India's universities, colleges, and research institutes will also be enriched. Recently, for the first time, the list of important minerals was released by the Ministry of Mines. This list includes 30 such minerals, including lithium, cobalt, nickel, graphite, tin and copper, which are essential for the country's economic development and national security. However, the ministry will also review this list from time to time. The list was prepared on the basis of a report by an expert team constituted by the Ministry of Mines. It aims to reduce India's dependence on import of minerals and enhance the supply chain. Along with this, cooperation is needed in the direction of net zero carbon emission of the country. Critical minerals are elements that are vital to the creation of essential modern technologies. Also, their availability and supply is very limited. These minerals are used in the manufacture of green technologies ranging from computers to batteries, mobile phones, electric vehicles, solar panels, and wind turbines. However, most of these include graphite, lithium, and cobalt, which are used to make EV batteries. It is noteworthy that apart from India, America has also declared 50 minerals as important. Similarly, UK has considered 18 and Canada 31 minerals as important. In such a situation, it is necessary to identify mineral wealth and its associated areas to create a competitive value chain in India. Their identification will help the country to plan the acquisition and conservation of mineral assets. Along with this, it will also help in reducing import dependence. Recently, Prime Minister Narendra Modi approved new schemes for farmers. In this, it has been set to continue the urea subsidy scheme for the farmers. This subsidy will continue till the year 2025. Under this, there is a plan to make urea available to the farmers at cheap rates. Along with this, for the first time in the country, Urea Gold that is sulfur-coated urea, has been launched. Let us tell you that sulfur-coated urea has been introduced to remove the deficiency of sulfur in the soil. It is considered to be more economical and better than the currently used neem-coated urea. This initiative will help in increasing the income of the farmers. Along with this, steps will also be taken in the direction of natural and organic farming. Let us tell you that many programs will be organized to promote the balanced use of chemical fertilizers. For this, PM Pranam Yojana will be started. The objective of this scheme is to encourage the states to use non-chemical fertilizers. Apart from this, solution centers have also been set up to solve the problems of the farmers. These centers have been named Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samriddhi Kendra. If we talk about urea, it is a white-colored chemical nitrogen fertilizer. It artificially provides nitrogen to the soil. Nitrogen is an essential nutrient for crops. Significantly, India has set a target to reduce urea imports. India is striving towards becoming self-sufficient in urea production by the year 2025-26. For this, 6 urea production units have been set up in the country. These are located in Bihar, West Bengal, Telangana, Uttar Pradesh, Jharkhand and Rajasthan. According to statistics, the indigenous production of urea has increased from the level of 225 lakh metric tons in 2014-15 to 284 lakh metric tons in 2022-23. Recently, RBI released the Financial Stability Report. According to the report, despite global challenges, the Indian economy is being supported by strong macroeconomic fundamentals. Also, reduction in inflation and current account deficit, increase in foreign exchange reserves, etc. are helping to sustain the growth of the economy. The report says that the NPA, that is non-performing assets of the country's scheduled commercial banks, have reached a 10-year low of 3.9% in last March. It was 5.9% a year ago. Similarly, the net NPA ratio stood at 1% during this period, which was 1.7% in financial year 22. According to the report, the capital and risk-weighted assets ratio and common equity tier 1 ratio of scheduled commercial banks have increased to 17.1% and 13.9% respectively by March 2023. In addition, the provisioning coverage ratio has increased from 40.1% in June 2016 to 74% in March 2023. Let us tell you that the loan given by the banks to the customers, the banks record it as an asset in their account. But in the event of the customers not being able to return the loan, such property is put in the category of NPA. NPA is divided into 3 parts: substandard asset, doubtful asset, loss asset. It is a measure to assess the financial strength of any bank. If it increases, it becomes a matter of concern for the country's economy, including the financial system. Significantly, the Financial Stability Report is issued by the Reserve Bank of India on a biannual basis. The report provides an assessment of risk to financial stability and the resilience of the financial system. Recently, SGX Nifty, that is Singapore Exchange Nifty, started its business in India. It has been started from Gift City of Gujarat. Interestingly, it saw over 30,000 trades in its opening session itself, which is encouraging for this new initiative. Significantly, the objective of this initiative is to connect the capital markets of India and Singapore. SGX Nifty is also considered an important indicator for the Asian markets. Indian investors predict the direction of India's stock market by looking at its position in the morning. The contract between SGX Nifty and the National Stock Exchange has been signed for 5 years. Under the agreement, the shareholding of both the stock exchanges has been kept equal. However, the revenue from this will be divided into 2 formats. Under this split, SGX Nifty will receive 75% of the revenue from the business generated by Singapore, while the National Stock Exchange will get the remaining 25% revenue. On the other hand, the National Stock Exchange will get 75% of the revenue from any business generated by India's IFSC, that is International Financial Services Center, whereas Singapore will get 25% share. However, this arrangement of revenue sharing has been made for the initial period. Once the fixed limit of revenue is achieved, this distribution will be done equally for both the institutions. It may be noted that 4 types of indices have been made available under GIFT Nifty. Their names are GIFT Nifty 50, GIFT Nifty Bank, GIFT Nifty Financial Services, and GIFT Nifty IT Derivatives Contract. Recently, ISRO attached Chandrayaan-3 spacecraft with its launch vehicle. The name of this launching vehicle is Launch Vehicle Mark III, that is LVM-3. Actually, ISRO has plans to launch Chandrayaan-3 mission between 12 and 19 July. Chandrayaan-3 is India's third moon mission. India's first mission to moon was Chandrayaan, which was launched in the year 2008. After this, Chandrayaan-2 mission was launched on July 22, 2019. Chandrayaan-3 is also a follow-up to Chandrayaan-2. Significantly, in the construction of Chandrayaan-3, new technologies required for interplanetary missions have been used. It consists of an indigenous lander module, propulsion module, and a rover. Let us tell you that the lander will assist in landing the Chandrayaan-3 on the designated surface of the moon and install the rover on the lunar surface. The rover will move around on the surface of the moon and do its chemical analysis. This means that the rover will find out what kind of chemicals are found on the surface of the moon. Payloads have been installed in the lander and the rover for experiments on the surface of the moon. For your information, let us tell you that the main function of the propulsion module engaged in this is to take the lander module from the launch vehicle injection to the 100 km circular polar orbit of the moon. After reaching the lunar orbit, the lander module will separate from the propulsion module. Like Chandrayaan-2, in this too, the lander and rover will orbit the moon before landing on its surface. Recently, the first tele-chatbot for mental patients was launched in India. It has been named Manas. The chatbot has been launched for people suffering from mental distress in Jammu and Kashmir. This initiative will ensure the availability of health counselors around the clock. With this, the access of mental patients to psychologists has become easier. Let us tell you that the tele-chatbot has been launched in 2 tiers. Tier 1 consists of state tele-Manas cells, which will have trained counselors and mental health experts. Whereas in Tier 2, experts have been included for physical counseling under DMHP, that is District Mental Health Program. In this, counseling can be given through audio and video calls. The task of improving mental health services has been entrusted to the National Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences, Bengaluru. Along with it, this institute will also take care of training and capacity building of medical officers and nursing staff. While talking about chatbot, it means talking robot. However, it is not a physical robot. It is a type of computer program. Let us tell you that there are mainly 2 types of chatbots. One of these is rule-based chatbot. These types of chatbots can only answer based on their limited knowledge. Second is AI-based chatbot. These chatbots answer questions according to artificial intelligence. At present, many companies have launched their own AI-based chatbots like Amazon's Alexa, Apple's Siri chatbot, etc. Recently, the central government started the Green Credits program. This scheme has been launched under Mission Life. The Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change has issued a notification regarding the program. The main objective of this scheme is to encourage various sectors to do positive work for the environment. This scheme will be implemented in several phases. In the initial phase, it will be implemented in 8 areas. These 8 areas include plantation-based, water-based, sustainable agriculture-based, air pollution abatement-based, green credits. Apart from this, green credits based on mangrove conservation, water management, eco-mark, sustainable building and infrastructure are also included in this list. Under the scheme, the scope of green area will be increased with the help of tree plantation and other activities. Apart from this, special attention will also be paid to the efficient use of water and water conservation. There is a plan to promote waste management and pollution reduction activities under the Green Credit program. Along with this, steps will be taken to improve productivity and soil health in a sustainable agriculture-based Green Credit program. Let us tell you that the conservation of mangroves has also been included in the Green Credit Program. Significantly, under the Green Credit Program, the emphasis will be on reducing carbon emissions in the domestic market. Also, green credits will be available for trade among themselves. By earning credits, you can keep them for sale in the domestic market. On the other hand, talking about mission life, under this, emphasis has been laid on reducing the use of single-use plastic in sensitive ecosystems. Recently, a research was done on Indian vultures. According to the research, the population of white-rumped vulture is almost confined to the same range. The study was conducted between 2013 and 2017 in the Sigur Plateau region of the Nilgiris. The research has thrown light on the stagnation of the vulture population. According to research, their population in the plateau region of Sigur was at its peak in the year 2017. According to statistics, in the year 2017, 167 white-rumped vulture used to reside in this area. However, between 2013 and 2017, 46 vultures died in this area. Many reasons have been responsible for their death. The white-rumped vulture and other vulture species have been decimated in the country due to the use of diclofenac and some other non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs in cattle. Basically, dead animals are the food of vultures. In such a situation, vultures are also dying due to the consumption of meat of dead cattle which were given these drugs. Apart from this, due to the cutting of trees, sufficient habitat is not available for the vultures. Due to this, also their population declined. Let us tell you that this species of vulture is also known as Gyps bengalensis. This species of vultures is included in the IUCN Red List as a critically endangered species. According to IUCN, till the year 2019, the number of white-rumped vultures in India was 6,000. According to media reports, ISA, that is International Seabed Authority, is preparing to resume the talks related to mining. This time there is a plan to include points related to green energy transition in the discussion. Mining refers to the process of extracting minerals from deep sea below 200 meters. It covers about 2/3 of the total ocean floor. Under this, mineral deposits and metals are extracted from the bottom of the sea. These mining are of three types: extraction of polymetallic nodules from the sea floor, mining of sulfide deposits, and separation of cobalt crust from the rock. Significantly, sediment deposits in deep water under the sea are called polymetallic nodules. It mainly includes precipitates of iron oxyhydroxide and manganese oxide. Metals like nickel, cobalt, copper, titanium, manganese, and rare earth metals are present on these. Let us tell you that the International Seabed Authority was established on November 16, 1994. It is an autonomous intergovernmental body. The ISA is tasked with organizing, controlling, and regulating mining-related activities in international waters beyond the limits of national jurisdiction. Its headquarters is located in Jamaica. UNCLOS, that is United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, has been established for the use of maritime resources. This law was brought by the United Nations in the year 1982, which came into force in November 1994. India became its signatory country in the year 1995. Recently, the central government has decided to help build infrastructure in border areas to combat human trafficking and rehabilitate victims. Under this, the Ministry of Women and Child Development will provide financial assistance to the states and union territories. In these rehabilitation buildings, the victims will be provided shelter, food, clothing, primary health facilities, etc. In fact, India is a source as well as a major destination country for human trafficking. According to the latest statistics of NCRB, that is National Crime Records Bureau, 8 children were trafficked every day in India in the year 2021. The Human Trafficking Report 2022, released by the US State Department, classifies India as Tier 2 in terms of human trafficking. Those countries are kept in Tier 2 where cases of trafficking are increasing rapidly and the government has failed to reduce them. Significantly, human trafficking has been prohibited under Article 23(1) of the Indian Constitution. Apart from this, the Immoral Traffic Prevention Act 1956 for prevention of trafficking related to commercial, sexual exploitation and POCSO Act 2012 to protect children from sexual abuse and exploitation are also being implemented. The Ministry of Women and Child Development is setting up anti-human trafficking units in every district of the country. Since most of the human trafficking takes place around the border areas of the country, these units have also been set up in border guarding forces like BSF and SSB. International Conference on Green Hydrogen was organized in New Delhi from 5 to 7 July. Its objective was to promote sustainable mechanisms in the field of green hydrogen, also to facilitate discussion on hydrogen production, storage, distribution, and practical applications. The conference was organized by the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy in association with the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas, Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, Office of the Principal Scientific Advisor to the Government, and Confederation of Indian Industry. Experts from America, Japan, Germany, Switzerland, Africa, and other countries participated in this conference. Significantly, on January 4, 2023, India launched the National Green Hydrogen Mission. The mission is a program to encourage commercial production of green hydrogen and make India a net exporter of it. It aims to establish India as a global hub for green hydrogen production, utilization, and export. In fact, hydrogen is one of the most abundant elements available on Earth for clean alternative fuels. Green hydrogen is produced by electrolysis of water. Its carbon footprint is less, which means it emits very less carbon. Therefore, the government is emphasizing on promoting the use of green hydrogen as a fuel. It will also contribute to the goal of achieving net zero emissions by 2070. Let us now look at the 5 questions based on the bulletin. Questions for this series are: first question is, consider the following statements. 1. Ministry of Mines has released the list of important minerals. 2. The list has been released for the second time. 3. This list includes 50 minerals. How many of the above statement or statements is or are correct? Only one, only two, all three, or none. Next question is, with reference to the urea subsidy scheme, consider the following statements. 1. This subsidy will continue till the year 2030. 2. Urea Gold has been launched for the second time in the country. 3. 8 urea production units have been established in the country for this. How many of the above statement or statements is or are not correct? Only one, only two, only three, or none. Next question is, with reference to Chandrayaan 3, consider the following statements. 1. It will consist of lander and rover. 2. The name of the launching vehicle is Launch Vehicle Mark 3. 3. India sent the first mission to the moon in the year 2010. How many of the above statement or statements is or are correct? Only one, only two, only three, or none. Next question is, consider the following statements about white-rumped vultures. 1. This species is also known as Gyps bengalensis. 2. It is included in the IUCN Red List as a critically endangered species. Which of the above statement or statements is or are correct? 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, or neither 1 nor 2. Last question is, consider the following statements. 1. International Conference on Green Hydrogen was held in Mumbai. 2. Experts from America, Japan, and Germany joined it along with India. 3. India has set a target of achieving net zero emission by the year 2070. How many of the above statement or statements is or are correct? Only one, only two, all three, or none. Bilateral military exercise GMEX 23, that is Japan-India Maritime Exercise 2023, is being organized by the Indian Navy. It is being organized in Visakhapatnam from July 5 to 10. It started in the year 2012 and in the year 2023, it is its 7th edition. Units of the Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force under the command of RADM Nishiyama Takahiro, Commander Escort Flotilla 1 of Japan, are participating in the exercise. Indian Navy ships are participating under the command of RADM Gurcharan Singh, Flag Officer commanding Eastern Fleet of the Indian Navy. Recently, the United Nations nuclear watchdog has approved Japan's plan to release wastewater from the tsunami-damaged Fukushima nuclear plant into the ocean. The International Atomic Energy Agency said it complies with the international standards and will have no impact on the environment. The Fukushima facility is running out of storage space for water used to cool nuclear reactors. However, Japan's plan has been opposed by China and South Korea. In 2011, a tsunami triggered by an earthquake of magnitude 9.0 flooded 3 reactors at the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant. This accident is considered the world's worst nuclear disaster after Chernobyl. The government has decided to change the name of Lansdowne Cantonment Board, a hill station in Uttarakhand, to Jaswantgarh after rifleman Jaswant Singh. He was one of the heroes of the 1962 war between India and China. After the war, the government of India awarded him the Mahavir Chakra for his remarkable gallantry in the war. Significantly, it was named after the then British Viceroy Lansdowne about 132 years ago. However, before being named Lansdowne, it was called Kalundanda. Prime Minister Narendra Modi hosted the virtual summit of Shanghai Cooperation Organization on July 4, 2023. The conference was attended by Chinese President Xi Jinping, Russian President Vladimir Putin and Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif among others through video conferencing. In this conference, discussions were held on increasing mutual security and economic cooperation, fighting terrorism and drug trafficking and dealing with issues like climate change. In this conference, Iran was included as a permanent member of the organization. The 2022 summit of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization was held in Samarkand, Uzbekistan. Recently, the Union Minister for Environment, Forest and Climate Change Bhupendra Singh released a database of different species found in India. This database has been compiled by the Zoological Survey of India. India has added 664 animal species to its faunal database in 2022. Also, 339 species of flora have been added. There are 467 new species and 197 new records from 664 animal species. Significantly, under the new record, such species have been included which have been found for the first time in India. Let us tell you that in the year 2022, the maximum number of new species of animals and plants have been discovered from Kerala. Recently, the Union Cabinet approved the Digital Personal Data Protection Bill. The bill will be introduced in Parliament in the monsoon session beginning from July 20. The Data Protection Law will lay down norms for the management of personal data of Indian residents. An analysis of India's recent trade data has shown that the purchase of Russian crude oil at a concessional rate after the start of the Ukraine war has proved beneficial for Indian business. Through this, Indian oil refiners have saved foreign exchange of at least $7.17 billion in 14 months till May 2023. Significantly, India is the world's third largest consumer of crude oil. India is dependent on its imports to meet more than 85% of its oil requirements. Salvage and Explosive Ordnance Disposal Exercise Salvex between Indian and US Navy was conducted from 26 June to 6 July. This is the 7th edition of the exercise which was held in Kochi, Kerala. This exercise was started in the year 2005. A dolphin sanctuary area has been proposed in the National Chambal Sanctuary located in Uttar Pradesh. The presence of more than 78 dolphins has been observed in this area. However, talking about the entire Chambal River, there are 24 dolphins in the Bahar range and 147 in the Etawah range, that is a total of 171 dolphins. National Chambal Sanctuary is spread over 635 square kilometer. It covers the area in Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and Uttar Pradesh. Recently, G20 Space Economy Leaders meeting started in Bengaluru, India. It is being hosted by the Department of Space. Significantly, this is the 4th edition of the G20 Space Economy Leaders meeting. Leaders of G20 countries and 9 invited countries are participating in this meeting. The purpose of this meeting is to focus on increasing international cooperation in the field of space. 100 stolen antiquities are being returned to India by the US. This includes a terracotta Yakshi plaque from 1 BC that was stolen from eastern India. The list also includes a miniature Jain temple made of marble from Gujarat. The naming of this temple is believed to have taken place between the 12th and 13th centuries. Also, an 11th century statue of Vishnu and Lakshmi made of sandstone and a standing Surya statue of about the same time are also coming back to India. Recently, RAKES, that is Ras Al Khaimah Economic Zone of the United Arab Emirates, and ICFA, that is Indian Chamber of Food and Agriculture, signed an MOU. It aims to promote mutual development in the food and agriculture sectors. According to the agreement, both the countries will jointly try to increase innovation in the agriculture sector. In addition, RAKES and ICFA will actively invest in and promote agriculture and food companies. Also, this agreement is focused on promoting research and development between the two countries. It mainly focuses on agricultural innovation, crop improvement, sustainable agricultural practices, and food processing technologies.